Now here's something in an old shed which you might find interesting. I'm going to catch it with my hat. You can see it there. Now, it's on my hat. I'll try and bring it into the light. And there it is. See, look at that. It's a tiny caterpillar. Now, it's so small, I wouldn't be able to necessarily tell what kind of caterpillar. But the interesting thing is that many caterpillars species make webs, and this one was abseiling to the ground in its web. Some of them, they get laid on certain trees and plants. Now I'm walking, which is why this camera is wobbling so badly. Now you can see the head at the top. See, it's a tiny caterpillar. It's really beautiful. And I'm surrounded by birds at the moment, which is why they're giving out, because there's food put out and they'd kind of like me to go away. I'm standing a little too close. The caterpillar started to abseil down from the shed near where their food was. But look at that. I've got it on a sort of microscopic setting here. I'm going to put it down so I can hold this more steadily. And now there we go. Now look at that, you can see the caterpillar really well there. And it's kind of like a house moth caterpillar, so it's probably one of many little species. Now it's on my hat, and look at the weave of the hat. You can see how small the caterpillar is. It'll probably grow into something quite decent in size. But look at that. And I'll just put my finger in now. Actually, my finger, look at, that's the size difference you're talking about. It's a huge. And that yellow mark there is orange, believe it or not. I was eating an orange when all this happened. But anyway, so keep your eye out for tiny little wispy caterpillars that are abseiling on silk, because caterpillars produce silk. Many insects like spiders actually produce silk, and many caterpillars weave a silk retreat to protect themselves, including our house moths. But look, this one wants to get off now, so I'm going to bring it over to some leaves. Now I have no idea, each caterpillar tends to have a favourite food plant. Some are totally dependent on a particular food plant. Now what I might have to do is, now I've got a piece of ivy here. Will the caterpillar have the sense, whoop, sorry, it's very hard. Now the caterpillar is walking away from the ivy. Look at that, now you can see a proper caterpillar, but just tiny. But I've got to get him up onto that ivy. Now maybe he hates ivy. Oh, he's on it. Look at that. So I can put my hat back on, and there is the caterpillar on the end of the ivy. And look at how tiny that is. That's my index finger. Here's my thumb. Look at that. Absolutely tiny caterpillar. So watch out for these tiny caterpillars, and you find them everywhere in the city. He's going under the leaf now, which is a sensible thing to do. But you'll find them all across the city. Then there's many different species. This is so small, it has a long way to go growing. But it's nice to see it in the spring. Keep an eye out for caterpillars, tiny ones on silk threads.